What up and Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. Back with the Hype Mind, Bear and Daniel, and today,
We're talking about Christmas and gift giving.
That's right. Because
So
it's coming up hot.
I was just talking with this gentleman not too long ago, and I mentioned to him how when I raise my kids, I'm not going to give them gifts on Christmas. Now, that might sound like an evil thing, but wait a second. I think that Christmas and the whole idea of gift giving, and especially in America, this consumption culture has been focused on getting instead of giving. Now, I'm not saying I wouldn't give gifts to my kids, but I would like the freedom to give them gifts throughout the year whenever I want. Maybe have it be a surprise. And not the obligation to give them gifts on Christmas. Now, I would put more emphasis on family actually getting together, spending time with the kids, spending time with the whole family and enjoying a nice meal.
Yeah. Well, and that's interesting because yesterday I was actually at a friend's house and we were catching up, letting the dogs out, and they had mentioned
Who
a
let
party
the
they had just
dogs
gone
out?
to, letting the dogs out. Who let the dogs out? They had just gone to this Christmas party like 2 days ago, and it was his wife's coworker who loves hosting parties. You know, she's a very social person, I guess. But they asked me about an opinion because they were like, we get there and she has several children and her kids are all in their like early 20s. And they're like, we get there and their kids are like, oh, welcome. We got the door, welcome to our household. Can I take your jacket for you? Can I get you a drink? Here's hors d'oeuvres if you'd like one. We'll take your garbage, we'll take it for you, yada, yada, yada. Right. So they were like, one of them was like, oh, that's normal. And the other was like, I almost feel like they were being paid to be like servants that you'd see like at a hotel. And, I got some more context, but it was funny because in the end, it actually seemed very genuine. It just seemed like they'd been raised that way to properly host people. And that's the nice thing is like, that's what Christmas and holidays done right, I would think look like, they look like events where you're there to help people have a good time and to have a good time yourself and to share an opportunity to get together and there's going to be good food because everybody loves good food, and there's going to be wonderful conversation and the opportunity to catch up and to get to know people better if it's a work party or whatever. But the other thing is with gift giving is there's become this there's a couple other things
Well,
that come
wait a
to mind.
second. First of all, that's awesome. That's
Yeah. Oh, it
fantastic.
was. I was like, I think it's genuine, and that's great.
Yeah. And I think to see more of that would be just phenomenal.
Right.
And that it becomes more about giving in that moment in a different way, not through gifts, but through service.
Right. Right. And that's the other thing is I think a lot of holidays, especially in America and Western culture, have become about getting, right? And you see that because people say, well, what do you want for your birthday? What do you want for Christmas? What do you want for this? What do you want for that? And it's not what do you want, it's what can I give you, right? It's not how do I easily please you. It's what can I give you that can surprise you. Here's the surprise. Here's something that from the heart I think you would appreciate, right? Because and a couple things came up here. The first was that I give myself gifts all year long. I don't need anything, right? I literally told my mother that this year. She goes, what would you like for Christmas? And I said, Ma, I don't need anything. Like whatever, because I don't need anything. I go on Amazon, and if I need a tool, I buy a tool. If I need a new leash for the dog, I buy a new
Yeah.
leash for the dog.
That brings up the conversation of like gift giving to adults now too, which is a good thing to dive into as well.
Yeah. But like, just in general, it's like it's about getting, and most of the time the only thing I need is money, and like I don't even need that. And I'm not asking, that's the funny thing is people are always like, well, what can you use? And I'm like, I can always use gift cards because I can always use money, and like it's always helpful. But it's like that's then there's no meaning. It's just a gift card. It's
Right.
like what you're talking about with the white elephant. It's like, where's the unique, thoughtful gift if you're just giving someone money? There's none.
Right. And it's very rare for someone to remember a Christmas from what gift they got, but rather like the memories they created through
Yeah.
bonding with their family.
Well, that that I would disagree with in a specific situation. The Christmas you remember from a gift you got is when someone gave you something special. You know, like you always wanted a bike and you didn't know your parents could afford a bike and they bought you a bike and you were like, "What? I didn't think we could afford a bike." And that's the most special Christmas ever because your family saved all year for a bike. This is probably more like a 1950s scenario, but like,
Right.
but it was special because it was something you really wanted and you didn't think you could afford and they couldn't afford it. And they found a way to give you something special. And there was thought and there was heart and there was all this other stuff involved. And it wasn't here, let me throw something at you because you want it.
Hmm. Right. And that's something to point out is that it was unexpected.
Yes,
So
yes,
that's what
right.
made
It's
it special.
thoughtful.
So that's one reason that I would want to have the freedom to give my children gifts throughout the year when it's not expected instead of this one day on Christmas to where I give them all the gifts on Christmas instead.
Right. And the other thing that just popped into my mind was because this applies to any opportunity to gift give is with birthdays. For my sister's birthday this past year, I didn't ask her what she wanted for her birthday, which is the common trend, right? Because she asked me, she was like, for my birthday, I really want to do this hike, and I don't know anybody who can do this hike or will do this hike, even if they can. They just don't want to. So she was like, will you make the drive? Right? It's a 3-hour drive to her, and it's a drive to the park, which was not anywhere near her house, and then she wanted to camp there, and so like I'm invested at least $50 into gas at this point, if not more, which is a big gift, and several days, and I had to take time off work, and it was a over 10-mile trek, and then I also thought out dinner, and I didn't tell her what dinner was, but I figured out a dinner I could make while camping on her birthday night, and so like it wasn't what do you want? It was how do we make this special where I don't necessarily have to spend money and can still do something you'll be very, very grateful for,
That's terrific. No, that's
And
really terrific.
so that's what, and I don't say this to pat myself in the back because like she did ask me to hike with her. So it was like, it was her idea too. But like that's what gift giving is, in my opinion, done right, is how can I surprise you with something you'll appreciate that requires my effort and my time and my creativity? Because that's what it used to
Yeah.
be. You made
Mhm.
something for someone,
Yes. No,
usually.
I think that's fantastic because it's definitely is unique and it's
Right.
I'd say more meaningful because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's spending time together, which a lot of people like prefer that quality time spent together instead of just dropping by and buying someone a gift. And then it could be turned into just getting a gift just cause they're my
Right.
students. Let me just get a gift.
Because
And
you have an expectation
right,
to fill.
exactly. You feel obligated to. And I don't like that way to go about it is to feel obligated to get a gift. So you get one. I want it to be genuine.
Right.
Um, and it's like even with adults, depends what time you live in, depends your situation, your family situation. Most of the time they can go out and get something they need
Right.
and they don't need a gift. And so that just kind of makes it not as special.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and I would mention two things here. The first is that, going back to that story, this really didn't occur to me until sharing this with you guys. I didn't even realize how much I had done in that process. Like, to me, it was like another adventure. I was like, go for a hike. Great. That sounds fun. And I'll also do dinner for you on your birthday night. So it was like, it didn't even occur to me until rattling off all those things, how much I'd actually put in. And the other thought is, I lost it. Shoot.
Sorry.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, and that's the other thing is, a lot of times when I travel, I'll buy gifts because nobody I know has been to where I've been most of the time. And there's usually something unique and special there that I can pick up that's from that culture, if you'd have it. Like, going to the Bahamas is not at all like living in New England. It's very different. And obviously people are there to catch tourists, but like, there's unique things that you're only going to get in the Bahamas. And so, like, or in a touristy country. And so, it a lot of times I end up spending $200 more than I budgeted. But I think, here's the chance to get gifts that nobody is going to be expecting, because nobody is expecting me to pick up gifts while I'm somewhere completely foreign or random.
Right. It's unique.
Yes, exactly.
Also, I just going back to talking about giving gifts to other adults. In this culture, we have too much. Maybe you get too much. Maybe you need to throw things out. I've been throwing things out and gifts out I've gotten 3-4 years ago. It's like I need less, not more.
Right.
So that's something to keep in mind. Food's a good gift because it's consumable, but a lot of
Right.
times your gifts just accumulate in your home and you have too much. So
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing is, even my gifts to myself accumulate in my home, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have junk everywhere.
right.
Even if I'm using it, it's like I got tools all over the place. And am I using them all? Yes, but like, they're everywhere.
Yeah, and I
So,
just think anything that like takes away from really good quality family time
yeah.
is a waste because what's more valuable in the end? I'd say good quality family friend time.
Yeah. Learning to live with less is definitely very important, and it just gets overlooked, and it's not easy. And gift giving does get in the way of that. So it's definitely something to just be thoughtful of it, because one or two meaningful gifts is better than 20 unmeaningful gifts. It's like, sometimes people throw stuff at me because they know I like something, and I'm sitting there going, well, now I have two of that, and I didn't need that, and they didn't know I already bought that, and this I really don't appreciate, because it was a nice thing that they thought I'd use, but I already have a really good one. And now I have this huge pile of stuff that I'm like, I don't appreciate it. Like, all you had to do was give me one really meaningful gift, and I'd have been like, wow, thank you. So, man, what was the other? You brought up the white elephant earlier, which is also great. I don't. Did you want to talk about that before I share my thoughts?
No, I did not bring that up.
No,
I
not
think
here.
yeah, brought that up somewhere
Our
else. I
food
don't even know
discussion
what the
that we
white
had
elephant
before.
is. Oh, I think I do.
You don't know what a white elephant is?
No, I know what Secret Santa is. I think
Well,
isn't
that's what
the
I mean. Same thing. Same thing.
okay.
Yeah. Except it's not secret. Who's the white elephant. Might be a little. It's a little different, but yeah. You brought up Secret Santa. Yeah. But it
So
was it
what
was just interesting because, like, you said they had a request, and it was basically for money, and I was like, that's not the point of a Secret Santa. Like, well, one, you're not supposed to know who's getting your gift in a Secret Santa, and two, if you're asking for money in a Secret Santa, I think you're missing the point of a Secret Santa. And if you're getting money in a Secret Santa, you're kind of missing the point. It's I don't know. Like, gift cards
right.
are a wonderful thing to get, but like, really, they should be banned as gifts, to be honest, because they're really not heartfelt. It's
It
just
seems
giving
like you're
someone
just
money. You don't know what else to do.
exchanging cash and
Yes,
maybe
yes. It's
breaking
like,
even.
here, I'll put this in the donation box, but you can only spend it at this store. And that's nice because sometimes people don't know what you eat. And like, I've gotten gift cards to grocery stores before, which is great because someone paying for my groceries is wonderful. I do appreciate that. If someone was in line and said, I'm paying for your groceries at the grocery store, I'd be like, wow, bless you. But like a lot of times people are just like, hey, like, I don't know what to get you. Here's a gift card. And like, that's my default too. It's like, I don't know what I would ask. So just get me a gift card. And I'm like, damn it, that's not a good answer. So I'm to blame for that too.
All right. Anything else?
I think that's it. Just think about it. Give something meaningful this Christmas. Something people will appreciate. That's not just clutter. If you can, if you haven't already bought a gift, I'm in trouble. Just kidding.
Perfect. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah.
Peace out. Make sure to subscribe to this channel.
Yeah, it's free. It's free. It's a gift to us subscribing.
Merry
So Merry
Christmas.
Christmas. Happy every other holiday out there. And happy birthday if you have a birthday around Christmas.